This is a Fairline Phantom 42. Now, it's not just any Fairline Phantom 42, it's my Fairline Phantom 42. And reluctantly, after about 5 years ownership, I'm going to put her on the market. Now, I'm going to do a full walkthrough tour right here, right now on this boat, on my boat. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Well, I'm Jonathan Parker from Parker Adams Boat Sales, and we're here today to show you this Fairline Phantom 42. Now, my wife and I have had this for about 5 years, and we took it in sort of as a part exchange, and then we decided to keep her because she is a lovely built boat and a very well equipped boat. We're going to do a full walkthrough tour on it now, but believe it or not, this is a 1998 model. So it's now knocking the door of 27 years old, but it really doesn't look it. Fairline built in this period is their best build Fairlines, in my opinion, that they've done from 98 all the way through to sort of mid 2000s. They really over-engineered the hull quality and the hull layout. So it's an absolutely solid boat. And now this is the best boat I've ever owned. It's the most reliable boat I've ever owned. And I do love it. And it is with reluctance that I'm selling it. But as you can see, look, you can see the hull is actually a dark silver colour. Now, this is actually a wrap. The wrap's been on here since I bought it, and it's actually brilliant. It hasn't come off anywhere. It doesn't peel, doesn't come off, and you don't need to polish it. Whereas you get coloured hulls of an age now, they need a lot of maintenance to keep them buffed up. With this, you just wash it down with soapy water, and that's about it. And you just give it a nice buff and a clean, and that's very easy to look after. But the thing I'm proudest of, look, I've managed to find matching fenders. Look, the fenders are the same colour as the hull. They were from Marine Superstore actually, but actually a brilliant find. But as you come down, you can actually see the boat as well. What I do like about this, I like the stainless steel frame around the windows. The stanchions are quite nice and high. And the wrap continues for this section of the boat as well. Now, the later Fairline Phantoms got away with this, and it's just one big window here now. There is a window there, but it's hidden by this plastic work, which a lot of people sort of felt like it dated the boat. But with that being wrapped as well, it actually blends everything in and makes the boat feel a lot younger than she actually is. Now, she's very, very well built. And it's the 42 over the Phantom 38 gives you actually an extended bathing platform. And it's just a little bit roomier inside, but the extended platform sticks right out, as you can see. And it's actually brilliant because I've got a passerelle that lifts the tender up on and off, so it uses as a crane. And because it's got the extended platform, it actually lifts it onto here to this point. With the smaller platforms, the passerelle can't actually, you'd struggle to get the tender actually onto the bathing platform. You have to have some weird rope mechanism. But with this, it just lifts it straight on. And the passerelle's hydraulics, operated just by here. So it's nice and easy to use. And it's got a 250 kilogram lifting capacity. So I've got a little Avon rib there. The Avon rib's got a 15 horsepower on the back, 2-stroke, sit on console, and actually I'll take some photos of it separately, and actually if you wanted to purchase that, you could purchase it from me as well, because I don't have any need for it anymore. The bathing platform itself is synthetic teak. There is a transom shower which pulls out. That's a later fitting, this one. The earlier one is still there, but it's not in use anymore, so that one has been taken over. There's also lights out onto the deck here, and then you come through into the cockpit area. Now the cockpit area is very generous in size. As you can see, you can actually get a table out here, and we sometimes bring the inside table outwards, but also there's a table on the flybridge, but you can have a couple of seats around the table as well as obviously the cushion seats you can see here. There's storage underneath all of these, so there's quite large storage. So storage under there, and under there, but also the lazarette is a huge storage area. So you can actually climb down there, and the lazarette isn't just there, it continues under all of here as well, because the bathing platform is actually moulded part of the hull. It's not just added on. So actually the lazarette continues all the way back, almost as far as you can see, and you can get access to the rudder stocks and everything as well. So this space goes all the way under. Now this boat isn't equipped with a generator, it doesn't have one, but that's where you'd put it. And I've seen one of these with a generator, and really there's loads of room down there, even when the generator's there. But this is access to your battery chargers and exhaust systems and the hot water tank down there as well. So it is a nice space. Right, if you come aboard, what I'll do is I just want to show up the front of the boat. So let me take the camera and I'll do you a little tour up to the front of the boat. And as we go along, you can see it's a nice wide walkway. My wife and I have a system now for mooring, and it's very easy. Most of the time we actually can just put the fenders down on this walkway. We'll only retrieve them in if we know we're going out into choppy sea. The boat is brilliant in a choppy sea. It's such a heavily built boat, it just cuts through anything. It's the best sea boat I've ever had as well. But as you can see up the front here, we have cushions. So we've got the cushions here. Let me just come out a little bit. So very comfortable and nicely fitted in. You tie them to the rail either side so they don't blow away. But we do enjoy having a drink out on the front here. And it's a beautiful day here actually on the handle, as you can see. Just a lovely Sunday afternoon. Anchor windlass as well. So it's got the foot buttons for the anchor windlass. You can also control them either from the flybridge or the lower helm. And then we've got the chain as well. So we've got about 50 meters of chain, sorry, down there. And I know that because I renewed it a couple of years ago. So it's relatively new, the galvanized chain. And you can see sort of up onto the flybridge now. I'll show you that Bimini in a minute. That's something I've added. One of the best things I've bought for this boat. Then we come back down into these nice steps into the cockpit area. They can also access the starboard side the same way, just steps up and a nice easy walk round. And then that leads you then to the cockpit area. But what I love about the flybridge on this is that you actually have steps going up. And it's not just a ladder, they're actually easy to use steps coming up to the lovely flybridge area. It's a twin helm, quite well equipped. You've got the chart plotter up here, as well as this has autopilot. I renewed the steering wheels, which makes it a lot nicer. And the dash as well is a grey to match the hull. These seat cushions were already done when we bought the boats. But they're a nice Silvertex material. They're in okay condition. The only thing I would say, look, if you look closely, there's some burn marks in here. Now, most people think that's cigarette burn, but believe it or not, that was a glass of gin and tonic with ice in it that someone just was resting on the seat, and it acted like a prism to the sunlight and actually burnt a load of holes in it. You could not believe that would happen, but it did. And there's another bathing area at the back here. So this rear part of the flybridge, you can actually use for bathing area, or you can have extra seats here as well. I do have a wooden seat there that I could put there instead. But it's a lovely spot to be when you want to get out the wind, because there's a glass across the back here and it acts as a really nice windbreak and privacy. So if you want to have a bit of sun up on the flybridge, that's actually the best spot out of the wind. Now it says a Garmin radar, and the Intellion domes are dummy domes, not actually anything in them, which took me by surprise when I first bought the boat. But they can be used, obviously, to put things in if you wanted to. A Starlink might be quite a good idea. You can get mini Starlinks now, which would sit in there quite happily, I would think. And you can see there's the spotlight as well on the top. But also, a couple of years ago, I bought this Bimini. Now, I've got it, it's on this frame that freestands just as it is now, so you can easily then deploy the Bimini forwards. Or you can lay it all the way down flat on the rear rail. So when you're putting it into winter storage, and actually the flybridge cover will then cover that as well, so you don't have to remove it. But it comes all the way to the front, and it's really, really good through the summer just to take the heat off you when you're up there in the hot sun. But now I'm going to head back down into the cockpit, and then I'm going to pass the camera back to my partner in crime. There she is. Thank you, Rebecca. And she's going to continue the filming, because what I want to now show you is obviously the interior. So we really love this Fairline Phantom because of the space in here. For a 42-foot boat, and obviously the age it is, it's quite hard to find the sort of level of comfort that this gives. It has 3 doors, so it's a 3-door sliding door. So obviously you can open it all like we have now. And we've got a This is the original table base, but we reduced the size of the table in here because we felt the big table was a little bit cumbersome. So we got rid of it, and then we put this here. And we can use it outside as well. But you've got the seating all the way around here. Now, this seating is in great shape. It's in great condition, and sort of leather all the way around. The carpets we've had all redone a few years ago. So all the carpets all throughout were brand new 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, about that. So they're only a few years old. But this hides a secret. So there's a proper fold-out camp bed in here, and it's that width. So it's a double width, proper metal sprung fold-out camping bed in there. So it adds another berth in here if you need some extra room. So an extra 2 berths, sorry. It's an extra 2 berths in here. But again, under this seat, which I really like, because you get this extra seat on this side. I think this may have come with a different option when it was new, but actually this is really lends itself to socialness. There's storage under here as well. And then we have the cabinet to the right here, which you can see. We've got a television. There's actually some storage behind the television as well, because this would have had in '98 a big TV in there, you know, the big thick ones, but it doesn't need it. So it's actually quite good storage. And you can swing this TV out on an arm so you can get at it. Also, there's a fridge here. So we've got downstairs fridge, which is quite well loaded. And then a drinks cabinet here. It's a slide out one, and you can store bottles in the bottom as well as bits and pieces in the top. And then we've also got a glass cabinet, which we can store glassware in up here as well. So this is kind of like your drinks sort of area. Now I look after this boat myself, so I do all the maintenance myself. So all the servicing and everything that I do it, I take it upon myself to do it. And I do know what I'm doing because I'm a marine engineer. So much so, I've actually written a book about it. So if you didn't believe me, Jonathan Parker, Stress-Free Engine Maintenance, that's me. And also had a hand in stress-free motorboating. So Duncan Wells is the author for the stress-free series. He's done stress-free sailing, stress-free navigation. And I gave him a hand when he wrote stress-free motorboating because, as I say, he didn't know much about boats. But then I pitched the idea of, why don't I write a engine maintenance one, and then we'll get that published as well. And that's what we did. So it's a really good book. It's a mix of the RWA, well, I wouldn't say the RWA diesel engine course, but along those lines. If you've ever done that, it's along those lines, but I've added tips and tricks of what to do in breakdown situations from when I used to do marine breakdowns, and stories about those as well. There's also videos attached to that as well that you can see. But as we come round, and we have done some updates in here. So one we would say we've done, obviously, apart from the carpets, we've done all the ceiling linings. So this is now a fabric. And if you look closely, you can see we've got a nice lighting effect all the way around the edge now. And it acts like, so if you come forward, look, you can really see it up here. And we have the normal lights built in as well, but it really makes a really nice evening effect. And then you can control these wirelessly from your phone, so you can dim them, and you can actually help flash to music as well if you're that way inclined. And they are just that colour, not multicolored, thankfully. They are just that single colour. And if talking about music, we've got a Fusion RA770 fitted, and it does have the Bluetooth remote as well as you can download the Fusion app on your phone, and you can control all the functions of it from there. So this has Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth built into that. Really good system. There's loads of plugs around as well. So there's a 3-pin plug there. There's also one there. There's one behind here. There's also one in the cockpit, funny enough, underneath that first seat. And then when you come around into the galley area now, there's 2 here, and there's also one here. And there's one down there. So there's plugs everywhere on this boat. But you come down into this lovely galley. It's nice and spacious, the galley area. And you can see we've got the nice sort of cherry front on here. And again, we've got some of the wall linings we've done in the material as well. So these upper wall linings have been done. And then we've sort of put in some black trim. So we've added some black trim just to break up the wood effect. And we've added black onto the top of here as well. And that really stops the glare, because this was this color originally, but when you're helming down below, you get the glare up in the screen, so that really helps with that, and it just tones everything down. So we've done the fabric on the walls here as well, because this would have been cherry originally as well as this one, and we've just toned them down again by putting this fabric. There's a really nice feel to it. And we've added carpet here. So this carpet here is removable, and it's got synthetic teak effect underneath, which is nice as well. But then there's a big storage hatch in here as well, so it's a big storage area in there, and we've put things like radiators and things like that in there that we may use in the winter. But the galley itself is well equipped, twin sink with hot and cold. Also, we've got an induction hob on here, so twin induction hob, as well as a combination microwave oven as well. So really nice units to use. Storage again, second big fridge in here with freezer compartment at the top. And the one thing that we did get excited about and we had fitted was we've now fitted, and this is properly plumbed in, a dishwasher. So now you no longer have to have dirty dishes lying around, because you can hide them away in the dishwasher and then just turn it on when you want to clean your dishes. A really nice addition, that is. We've had it in here for a couple of years now and it works great. As we come round to the helm, you can see the downstairs helm is a double helm. This seat slides forward and backwards. So you have it forward when people are sat around, so they don't bang their heads on it, but then you can slide it right back, and then you can drive from down here. So down here I've got matching steering wheel, as up on the flybridge. Again, this would have been wood originally, and we've had it wrapped in the same colour as the hull, and as well as this is the same colour as well. Wireless charging telephone charger here, and then a 12-inch Garmin display, and then obviously you've got all your rocker switches, as well as your autopilot and your depth on here as well, and the VHF. So what I would say, that's new. It's the same as the Garmin plotter upstairs, but this obviously is still of an age. Works functionality wise, works brilliantly, but it is original, so it does show a bit of its age, but again, it absolutely works perfectly fine, so I've never had reason to change. And as well as the VHF, again, it's original VHF, so this doesn't have DSC like modern VHFs do, but I like it's like using the telephone. I quite like that. But it doesn't have modern DSC, so I do have a handheld as well, which has that functionality on it. But I actually drive it down here more than I drive up on the flybridge, and reasons for that, I guess, is probably weather, and also it's just nicer because you can sit down here with a cup of tea going along. You're not so affected by the wash and the waves because you're higher up. You feel like you're moving around a bit more than you are down here, and it's just much better protection from the weather here. So when it's really hot up on the flybridge, it's nice, but then when you're going into the wind, it gets a bit windy. So again, it's quite nice to be down here a lot of the time. So I do get used to driving this and parking this from down here. And there's actually pretty good visibility, so I can see all the way around. I can actually see all the way out onto the bathing platform from here, so when I'm parking I can actually see all the way to the back, which is quite important when you're manoeuvring. And so I do just find life very easy with this boat. It has a bow thruster as well as obviously the twin engines, so manoeuvrability is actually very good. More storage under there. That's very deep storage actually. We keep life jackets and water and things like that down there. This also has Eberspacher diesel heating. The controller's just here, but we've got vents that come out just down on the floor there. So the vents come out down here and then in both cabins as well. So talking of cabins, what should we do? Should we go into the front cabin first? So this is our master cabin, and as you may or may not know, I'm 6 foot tall, and I find it very easy sleeping in this bed. So there's plenty enough room for if you're 6 foot or over. Nice double sort of king size bed, and I like the mirrors across the top. Obviously got the lighting in here. 2 side tables, so match each other, so you can lift the lid up. The other one's got a mirror in it, but 2 vanity tables are quite nice. We've also added these curtains. They did have red blinds in here originally, which I didn't really like. What's red? I suppose they were trying to match the colour of this, but they just weren't very nice. So we took them down and we just went back to curtains, because I actually like this. And we tried to match this, because this is a later addition as well, this material around the headboard. So this was done by the previous owners of the boat. And yeah, we quite like that, so we tried to match that with the curtains. There's a full-size wardrobe in here for hanging. On the other side that mirrors it, it's actually shelves, so rather than hang, so you've got your hanging space in here. There's actually another wardrobe in the other side. But then we come into the ensuite. So the ensuite, as you come in, there's a couple of features in here, and one is there's actually a radiator on the wall here, and it's an electric radiator. So, and it acts as a towel holder as well. So, and also warms up. There's actually remote control for it down there. Do you want me to just close this in? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, you've got this radiator here. You can control it here, and it's mains powered, so it works off the mains, but it really gets this room nice and warm when you're on power. Also, the toilet, you can see it's got a nice cover over. Electric toilets on the boat. It is seawater flush, so not freshwater flush. They are seawater. But then also you've got a full-size shower cubicle. The shower cubicle we share on this boat a lot, and it is really, really good. The water heats up nice and quick, and then obviously you've got a sink as well. Nice storage shelves in here, as well as the mirror. The mirrored cupboard is also storage, and actually quite deep storage as well. So actually really good storage, and there's obviously it's got a light above which actually lights the cupboard nicely, as well as when you're using the mirror. And then of course you've got your window going out as well, and there are blinds fitted, so there's drop down blinds fitted as well. So that is the ensuite, and then we've got the second cabin, which quite traditionally is a twin. So we've got the twin cabin here. I'm going to lay down. So you can see actually, again, it's a nice size down here. I can control my lighting from here as well. Nice little cabinet on the side. Obviously an extra lamp there. Shelving up here. Curtains in here. And big hanging wardrobe. So this one's bigger than the one in the main cabin. So it's full size, and there's a shelf at the top. But also it's got this hidden cupboard here. Look. Little hidden cupboard there for just putting bits and pieces. Got some electrical stuff in there. Access to the back of the electronics in here, which is quite neat. So really good access to the chart plotter, and then everything you can get at in there. It's nice and easy. And there's also storage under this mattress. So there's two places you can store things. There's two hatches. They've actually got like fabric holders in them, but once you remove the fabric holders, you can just unpop them, and then you can actually get right down into the bilge. So then you can get access to like the diesel heater. You can get access to different parts of under the floor here. You can actually climb down in there, so you can get really good access to most parts of the boat. In the main hallway there, under this centre hatch, is actually access to the seacocks. But if you open that door there, we can come through to the second heads, which is also en suite to the guest cabin. So again, electric flush toilet and radiator, as well as mirrors with storage in again. And then they've got a big mirror on the top here. And there is a shower here, but this one's in a curtain. So you can see on the ceiling that you can actually got the curtain rail. So you can shower on here as well. We never have, but it is set up for it. So all in all, it's a really, really good layout. So I do like this boat, and it is very reluctant we're getting rid of it, but actually what I'm doing the video now just before we get the boat out. So the boat is due to come out in a few days, and it's going to have all the maintenance done. So the engine service is going to be done, all the anti-fouling underneath, all the running gear is going to be cleaned up and protected, and then we're going to give the boat a good clean and do all the little jobs that you never get around to doing. We're going to finish them all off. So this boat will come to the next owner ready to go, really. And so I am sad to see her go, but I think it's time that she went for us, and then go to now the next person who wants to use her, because we're not using her as much as we wanted to, because we're quite busy in our work now. And as you know, obviously we sell boats, but we've also got a boat club as well. And that's taking up a lot of our time. And in fact, we've got 10 boats in the boat club that we can have access to. So we won't be lacking in boat use, but at the same time, it means that we're just not using this one as much. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can be talking about. Did I miss anything? No? Okay, so that's the full walkthrough tour done on this 1998 Fairline Phantom 42. So come and see it for sale at park-adams.co.uk, and get in touch if you want to come and view the boat. But for now, I'll say goodbye, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and see you on the next video. Bye for now.